Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. In this video, we are going to be talking about yet another NFL star who allegedly might be having some tensions with his current team and could have the possibility of requesting a trade in the near future. He hasn't yet, but this player is Russell Wilson. Reportedly, there's been some tension throughout the season and still now between him, his camp, and the Seahawks. Has not requested a trade yet. I feel like that's important to get out of the way right now. Nothing yet as of the time we're making this video on Sunday night, but there's still reportedly some tension. He's given a list of teams that he would accept a trade to if it got to that part, and we'll talk about that list and more. But yeah, yet another name to this list of star quarterbacks that could potentially be on the move in the early stages of 2021.
And it's a weird one, too. If I told you a couple weeks ago that Russell Wilson would potentially be traded, you would probably look at me and say, "What are you talking about? Like he seems like he'd just be a Seahawk for life." I mean, I know a lot of players at the end of their career have to move on due to their declining state of play, but especially still in the middle of Russell Wilson's career where he's still playing all right, you wouldn't expect this to happen. And it started off where he just was frustrated with his offensive line play, and that's rightfully so. The line has not been blocking for him well in the last couple of years at all. He's one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league and still struggles to get out of the pocket due to the terrible blocking that he has. And he's getting frustrated with it. And I think it is important to mention, as Ryan said, that this is not huge yet at this point. There's been no trade that is requested. It's just him being frustrated with the organization. I don't think he's going to go anywhere, but we got to talk about it because it's another possible quarterback moving to a different place due to the offensive line not playing the way they should be. So it's an interesting topic that I'm going to hand over to Jordan to add on to.
Yeah, and it was not just the offensive line. There were also reports of other things that went down with this team. And Tyler, I'm surprised you didn't say it because you've been on the Seahawks for about 2 years for this. And that's the fact that they really, Russell Wilson is a guy that can pass the ball a lot. You can win the game with his arm. And for a few years now, he's been in the MVP race because the team has passed so much. They've leaned on him. They started it early this year. That's when Russ Cook was going on, all that stuff. Then the Seahawks kind of went back to their more balanced offense with the run game. And sure, you can make the argument that the offense might look more balanced and therefore more better with the run game. But I just think the Seahawks were a lot more dangerous when Russell Wilson was passing the ball. I think he understands this. I think he understands he's being memed for all these MVP runs early on, and then he just declines because the team's format changes. They go more towards the run. So I feel like that's frustrating towards Wilson. He's a great guy, don't get me wrong. But even great guys can get frustrated. He wants to pass the ball. He knows how good he is. He knows the potential of this offense if he's able to be the true leader of it. Of course, he's absolutely the leader of the Seahawks offense, no question. But he can do a lot more with passing the ball. I just think the Seahawks offense is a lot more dangerous with him passing the ball. I think Russell Wilson thinks that too. And speaking of Russell Wilson, my fantasy team was named Russell and Feathers. And there are some feathers being rustled right now in the Seahawks organization.
There sure is. One thing that has
Good
been worked out
Jordan.
for Russell Wilson, and this could be good
transition.
Yeah, it's a very smooth transition. Let's continue on with the video now. Something that he was frustrated was with the offense, as Jordan mentioned. Now I'm going to get more into the details of what has happened. So Ryan Schottenheimer, the former offensive coordinator now for the Seattle Seahawks, was fired earlier on in the offseason. He is now with the Jaguars. He's going to be their passing game coordinator in the 2021 NFL season. So he's gone, and I'm sure those frustrations from Russell Wilson led to Schottenheimer being fired, and now they have their new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, who hopefully can do what Russell Wilson wants to do if he does indeed stay there. So I would say that these grievances from Russell Wilson are justified. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, because I think it just comes down to common sense. I mean, we saw what Seattle did in those first, 4 or 5 games of the season where they started out strong. Russell Wilson was, the MVP front runner. We thought this was going to be finally the year where he potentially wins the award. And in the end, he still has yet to receive an MVP vote in his career. So I think it's justified. And I think if you're the Seahawks, this has to be a wake-up call that, we just got to, set our players and our team up in the best position to succeed when it comes to our play calling, to the type of offense that we run. And look, it's not like their running backs are bad. They had a sneaky good group of running backs. But when you have a quarterback like Russell Wilson, and you have statistically and when it comes to winning and losing done better when you throw the ball and you let Russ cook like you did for 5 games and then stopped for some reason, I think that the new offensive coordinator and really even the incumbent coaches in Seattle, like Pete Carroll, guys who have been there forever, they have to realize that Russell Wilson is frustrated because he believes, and he's probably right, that we are not setting up our team for the most chances for success that they could have, which obviously that's what all coaches want to do. It just seems like Seattle, you have Russell Wilson, you have two great receivers, you've got an offense that is capable of having a lot of success. So I think if you're the Seahawks, this is a wake up call, and you say, okay, in 2021, if we still have Russell Wilson, we got to let him be who we know and who he knows he can be.
It's that mantra again that we were hearing about thousands of times in those first 5 weeks of the season is let Russ cook, and they did that in the first couple of weeks of the 2020 season. Then it seemed to stop, and no coincidence that Russell Wilson's play went down and that offensive play went down, and that is definitely cause for frustration. So now let's move on to the next part of this whole scenario. Russell Wilson has said now that possible teams, if he has not requested a trade, but he said if they were to trade him, he would like to go to the Cowboys, Bears, Raiders, and Saints. Those are the top 4 on his list.
According to his agent, Mark Rogers.
Yes. And
His
the
agent.
Bears being one of those 4 teams, I feel like are the ones people are talking about the most, just because he seems to show a lot of interest in going to Chicago. For what reasons, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Myself being a Bears fan, even I'm not sure why he'd want to come here. But he says he wants to help this offensive situation and get it to where it should be and get this Chicago team rolling because he thinks they have a shot at a Super Bowl. And then talking about the Cowboys, if they don't sign Dak, he could definitely go there. The Raiders, they could do a quarterback swap trade if they wanted to.
That'd be
John
crazy.
Gruden would definitely be someone that would like to work with Russell Wilson. He likes to get new quarterbacks in like every 2 years. It seemed like he's trying to find a new one. And the Saints, who are probably going to lose Drew Brees. So all 4 of these do make sense. Which one do you guys think makes the most sense? I said the Bears just because that's the one he's talking about the most, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
I think it's the Saints. And the only reason I think it's not the Bears is because how is their offensive line even as good as the Seahawks?
I agree with you. The only reason I say the Bears is because that's where all the hype has been around.
Well, yeah, that's the media. But as far as what makes the most sense, in my opinion, for Russell, no question if you're going with which possible destination has gotten the most media attention, it's the Bears. But in my opinion, I think the Saints makes the most sense for Russell Wilson. They have a great offensive line, great coaching staff. They, have been so close in past years, have had great regular seasons, just could never quite get over that hump in the playoffs. So if I'm Russell Wilson and I say, I pick between one of those 4 teams, I go to New Orleans because I really feel like I could be that guy with those offensive weapons, with that great O-line that you have, with a team that is clearly in win now mode, just not quite gotten to that Super Bowl in this, era yet. I think that if you're Russell Wilson, no question, New Orleans gives you the best chance to succeed and win right away because of the weapons you have on offense. You have a team that's clearly still able to win in great circumstances around him. And if you're Russell, you could say, hey, I could be the guy that finally gets this team over the hump.
Yeah, Ryan, I agree with you. If I were to pick one team out of those 4, I would pick the Saints because of those reasons that you just stated to us. However, I don't want to believe that Russell Wilson is going anywhere. Of course, I didn't believe it with Deshaun Watson. I thought there's no way. I was asked percentage. I was like, 15% shot that he'll actually leave. And now it's looking like 75% shot to leave if the Texans will even let him leave. And it's probably even more than that.
He
actually.
has already requested trade.
Yeah,
so.
That was a while ago.
Even higher than that 75% right at this moment. So who knows? Anything could happen. I just think that Russell Wilson is trying to leverage this into the organization, understanding what he wants. I don't think he's a bad dude. I mean, the man just won the Man of the Year, which is the most prestigious award in the NFL, so nothing wrong with Russell Wilson. I just think he's trying to leverage this a bit more, and so I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't want to believe it. I think the Seahawks organization loves him. I think the fans love him. I think he is a Seahawk, and if he were to go somewhere else, they'd be getting a fantastic player. I just don't see him leaving the city of Seattle.
Yeah, I if I had to choose something, I would once again say I don't think he's going anywhere. I would go with Ryan and saying the Saints would, if I was him, is who I would choose. But the Bears seems to be the most likely one right now, for some strange reason, as I mentioned. But another thing we mentioned, we're saying, well, you guys might be saying like, why are you talking about this? He's not going anywhere. Well, as Jordan said, we didn't think Deshaun Watson was going anywhere. We're on record saying Carson Wentz wasn't going to go anywhere when we made a video talking about Nick Sirianni being hired because we thought that meant Carson Wentz was going to stay. We were wrong about that. It's been a strange offseason for these quarterbacks. He could be the next one on this list to get traded and go to a different team. Like we have mentioned multiple times now, it doesn't make much sense why he would want to leave. It seems like he has a deep connection with the city of Seattle. and the team that he has going there. They've been in the playoffs multiple years in a row now, I believe, and it's just a matter of time, I think, before if he stays there, they could get back to a Super Bowl. I picked him to go to the Super Bowl last year. They unfortunately let me down in the wild card round, but I do think this team has a chance to be great if Russell Wilson is here. But that being said, the Cowboys, Bears, Raiders, and Saints would all also have a good chance of making a playoff run if their quarterback was Russell Wilson.
I think any team would. And also, just to a report as well, I know Adam Schefter had that big report, and of course, you hear all these other guys who are verified saying teams that you might not believe as much, but of course, Schefter is more of a big guy, so if he hears something, it might actually be true. And as it said, it was from Russell Wilson's agent, but also other teams that were thrown out earlier were the Jets and the Dolphins. They were in that conversation as well. Really, he can go anywhere. He's probably not going to go anywhere, in my opinion. I think that he just, as I said, he wants to leverage something a bit more. I don't think he wants to leave, truly. That's just my opinion on it. And I don't see Russell Wilson going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think any of us do right now. But again, like, we thought the same thing about Wentz and Watson. We thought, oh, no, it's just going to pass over in a few weeks, and it'll be fine.
We can't do 3, right?
No,
we got 2 crazy ones.
I'm acknowledging the possibility, but as of right now, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. No. But that could change in a mere day. Who knows?
We are starting to see more of an NBA-type trade style where we see these big trades happening. We've seen 2 already in this offseason with the quarterbacks that we've mentioned multiple times now. So it would be exciting to see another one, regardless of where he were to go. It also would be exciting to just see Russell Wilson suit up in a Seahawks jersey once again, especially for those Seattle fans, because I know they have a love for Russell Wilson, and Jordan has a love for Russell Wilson as well.
It's a love-hate
that has started to turn into a hatred relationship.
If you want to come to the Bears, I'd love you, Russell. There's still room in my heart for you. You just let me down in fantasy towards the end of the season, and it's not your fault. It's the team's fault, as you mentioned.
And it's the offensive line's fault. A big part of that as well, which is why he is frustrated, which is why you're frustrated, and the play calling as well. But that should not hopefully be an issue because the new offense coordinator, as previously mentioned.
Yes.
Okay. Any last thoughts on this issue before we wrap this thing up?
Hugh Suter.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's a hockey player. I'm just imagining that is the case. They're more into hockey than I am, but this is not a hockey channel.
Well, he just scored earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yes, we have the hockey game on this iPad right now. Just so you're wondering.
They probably saw me celebrating earlier.
Yes. Yeah. All right, so there it is, guys. Russell Wilson, another quarterback that could be on the trading block as the weeks go on in this offseason. He has put out teams that he would like to go to if a trade were to happen. Like we have said, we do not think he's going anywhere. We have said this multiple times now, and we have been wrong. So we will see what happens. It's going to be a bit of a waiting game to see exactly what goes down as the offseason goes on. But that's what's exciting about it. And we get to make a video about it because in the offseason there's not much to talk about, and this is a story we had to mention. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. Comment your opinions down below. Do you think Russell Wilson is going to go anywhere? Will he stay with Seattle? Any other thoughts on the Seahawks offense or their team heading into the 2021 NFL season? We'd love to hear it, so go down and comment in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching this video, and with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.